Hey, welcome to Scott Ferrell Show. Thank you so much for joining me. Got a little topic I want to get out before I get to my actual material today. I come in every day early because I want to prep for my show. I want to be ready for you. And so I didn't get any prep done today. Why? Because I got to meet some cool people. We film multiple shows in the studio, and sometimes people will come out, and I'll be walking down the hall and they'll want to meet. And I met the nicest lady this morning. I'm not going to give her a name because I don't have permission. But I get in the hall, and you start to talk to people, and you start to talk about Striper, my favorite group, and you talk about rock bands and kids and grandkids and where your kids are now, and you learn that the world's really small in a lot of ways. And you get to meet cool people, and you don't know when you're going to meet them, but you got to be open to whatever's coming. And I was so glad I didn't get any show prep done, because as soon as I got through with that conversation, I had another one. So thank goodness I write my show out ahead of time. But why am I saying that? What's the big deal about that? Sometimes we get in such a hurry in life, and we forget what life's all about. And what is it all about? It's not the rush. It's not the getting the stuff done. It's the people we meet along the way. So many times that we rush through activities, especially with our own family, and we don't take the time to enjoy what we're doing. Today, I'm normally one of those guys, I get here at the same time, I drink my coffee at the same time, I have my shake at the same time, I do everything at the same time every day. And I'm kind of rigid. And today I was able to get in the flow and meet some nice folks, improved my day and in my life, and now I get to go hang out with them. And it's always fun to get to know new people, hear their stories, hear their successes, hear their struggles, and hear how it all turned out. That's what my whole show is about anyway. I get to hear people's struggles and hear how they made success out of those struggles. Because our whole show's about, you've got a problem, we help you find a solution. That's why I started my coaching and consulting company. I wanted to make sure that I could use all my knowledge and all my years of experience and my friends' years of experience to help people get an answer to their questions, whether it's their personal lives or their business. All right, now I'm going to flip it back around and get into the topic for today. Back to school. It's that time, baby. It is time to go back to school. Now, when I think about back to school, I think about one of my favorite movies with Rodney Dangerfield in it. The title is Back to School. If you're under the age of 30, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Go ask your mom and dad. The movie's absolutely hilarious. Rodney Dangerfield decides to go to college with his son. And then it goes from there. 2.5 hours of fun and laughs. But back to school. What was so magical about the film? Well, they got along. They learned to love each other deeply. And then Rodney ended up getting his degree at the age of 55, I think. But let's look at school today. Now, I will talk about schools continuously. Today, I'm looking at what parents and kids have to do to get ready for going back to school. You know, it's always a sign of what's to come when you leave the studio and you pass all the buses, and the buses are rehearsing their routes. You always think football, especially here in the South. You think school, you think family, you think a little chill in the air because we're in the northern Georgia area. And then you think all the months that are come when your kids go back to school. So I sat down and wrote a list. What is it kids really need? Me being a former teacher, me working with families outside of school now, me being an advocate, me being a parent. What is it that your kids really need to be equipped to go back to school? Now, if you got a question about this, it's questions@scottferrell.com, or just send me a text, 706-889-9700. What do your kids really need to go back to school to be successful? Well, number one on this category, and every teacher would probably agree with me, is attitude. Does your child understand why they go to school? Well, it is to learn. Now, unfortunately, public schools have started to hit social agenda far more than they hit curriculum. But still, number one reason they go to school is to learn. Reading, writing, arithmetic. It has not changed. The way we dispense that knowledge has changed, but the reason we go has not. Still got to have the right attitude. What do I mean by that? Be ready to work, be ready to take notes, be on time, do your homework, study for your tests. Outside of that, the teacher's got nothing to do with it anyway. But if you do those 5 things, and I used to go over these with my basketball team every season. This is your job as a student. Okay, this is your first job. Before you come see me and put on that jersey, this is your job, these 5 things. So as long as they've got the right attitude going in, and they understand why they're there, and they're there to learn, and they're there to receive, and to give their effort for the knowledge, then we're all square. All right, what else do they need? Well, they've got to understand that all those changes that took place in summer are okay. They're normal. I was one of those kids. I grew up overweight, okay, and I had so many nicknames that surrounded my weight. It was unreal, and I was never the attractive kid. And then I went home one summer and I came back and I lost all the weight, and then I found the gym and I started lifting and wanted to be a power lifter. My physical body changed. Well, we have to adjust because there are physical changes that happen to the kids over the summer that we, the parent, have to prepare them for. Okay, you're going to get taller. Certain things are going to happen if you're a female. Don't want to go into those. That's not a topic I want to cover. I never cover those topics. I let females cover those. What those physical changes do happen. Because the physical changes happen, we've got to prepare them for those. And we got to go school shopping. You got to get your swag on. I do shows on what it's like to get your swag on and get your style on. There's nothing worse than being the kid who goes to school that's got no style. Yet, kids can be kind of cruel, and they do make fun of what you wear. I'm not telling you to go out and buy this, that, and that. I'm saying pick a style that's best for you. Mom and dad, understand this is important. Just make sure your kid's style rocks who they are. Look at my style. It's a little different. Somebody came in today. My wife looks like Elle Woods. She really does. She's always in a dress, high heels. She really does look like she needs the little chihuahua with her. And so we don't look like we go together, and that always gets vocalized. It's funny, you two don't look like you'd go together. No, we don't, but she saw through that and thought I was a nice guy. So get your style on. Anxiety. There's nothing to be worried about with school. Now, we got to make sure the kids understand that. Do your best. Do the best you can. Have the right attitude, handle those 5 things I said, and have some fun. Have some fun. Make some friends. Join some clubs. Play some sports if you want to. Make school fun. We made the mistake sometimes of telling kids that those are the best 4 years of their life. That's a lie. The best years of your life are with your own kids, your wife or your husband, watching your kids grow and do things, and then having grandkids. High school's not the best days of your life. That is a period of your life that needs to be great. But mom and dad, we have a lot to do with how they adjust to high school or whatever the school is. Summer jobs. I'm a big believer in summer jobs, and now we've got to change those summer jobs into fall jobs. I think the greatest thing we can do for kids is let them work. Now, if you're playing on a team, sometimes the coach won't let you work while you're playing. I get that. I didn't like it when my basketball players worked during the season. However, the season don't last all year. Let them go ahead and work, let them transition, make some money, and build the responsibility within themselves to understand that nothing's free and you got to work for a living. All right, now I'm already out of time. This is what I want to get across for back to school. Back to school. You got 9 months ahead of you in school. You've got something like 6 weeks off throughout the year. Make the most. And parents ask me all the time, what's the best thing we can do for our kids going back to school? Let the kids understand, one, that there's an hourglass of time. Time's not forever. Take advantage of this time right now as a child. Get the most you can out of anything you do. If you've got to be there, and you got to be there for 6 to 8 hours a day, get out of school everything that you can. Because everything you learn, nobody can take your knowledge away from you. Everything that you learn can be used later in life to improve your own life and to improve the life of others. Now, if you got any questions, go ahead and send them to me. Questions at scottferrell.com, or send me a text 706-889-9700, or go by Facebook, like our page, and then post it up there. Love to see crosstalk between people and see what your thoughts are. Now, coming up, I want to talk about if you've got an idea, if you've got this amazing idea, and you want to turn it into a career, or you want to turn it into a product, what in the world do you do about it? That's coming up next. I'm Scott Ferrell. We got more coming. We got Shelly Hunt coming in the next hour. You don't want to miss her. It'll be a blessing to your day and to your life. I'll be right back.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford. 50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours. Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95. And there's several more on the lot just like it. Yes, 50 trucks must go, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings. Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
El Rey and Elijah.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elijah.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Welcome back to Scott Ferrell Show. Thank you so much for being part of my day. I hope you're having a great one. If you hadn't had your coffee yet, your hot tea, whatever it is you use to get your juice flowing there, get it in. We're going to have a little time together. If you don't have time to watch the whole show today, don't worry. You can come back and watch it again on replay. The great thing is you're here, and it's my goal to make sure that during our time together, I'm able to give you something that you can take and use immediately. All right, that's why I want to cover this next idea. First, let me give you questions at scottferrell.com if you got any questions for me. Ideas. Ideas. Look around this studio. Look around your home. Look around your office when you get there today. Someone had an idea for that. I'm very thankful for the car, the chair, the mattress. Grateful for that one. Refrigerator and air conditioner. Thank you very much for bringing up those two. And I always tell my friend Jeff Hoffman, thank you for developing ticket kiosk at airports. That has saved more time than anything. So you got an idea. What do you do with it? A lot of people will come up to me. Yes, I am a business consultant. Now I do environment, I do behavior. Anything about fundraising or structure, I pass off to some of my friends. However, I do sit and listen, and then I go yes or no, and then we get them to the right people, which I'm going to talk about here in a second. But how do you know if you got an idea that's worth it? Now I get those people go, hey man, I got an idea for a t-shirt. Okay. Have you searched it? Did you see if anybody else has got your idea first, man? Because sometimes people go, I got a great idea. And I'll go, no, it's an idea. Let's wait on the great. If it's something that fills a need, you can market it. You've got a big enough market there. You own the rights, trademark, patent, whatever you got to own. Then let's see if it progresses to a great idea. Because the key is, it's great to have ideas. Will anyone purchase it? Don't know. You see DR campaigns all the time on the internet and on TV. What Billy Banks seems to be the one, the exercise guru. When I was watching those, I was like, who would buy this? Well, 40 million people bought those. Okay, so that's a good idea. P90X is another one that comes to mind. Who would buy those? 40 million people would buy those. That was a great idea. You were able to take a workout concept, condense it into a workable time frame to where people could do it at home, but at the same time get results. I'm all in. So right now you may have an idea. You may be sitting there thinking, I've got the company idea, t-shirt invention idea, music idea, whatever it is. Have you written it down? Did you write it down? Okay. Who'd you share it with? Loose lips sink ships. We've heard that before, but who'd you share it with? Don't share it. I always tell people, if you think you got a great idea, go to a professional. What do I mean by professional? Get an attorney. An attorney. Lawyer. Lawman. Whatever you want to call the guy. Dude who has a law license. Dude who passed the bar exam. Call an attorney. Call an attorney whose specific knowledge is in either, like I've got Jason Webb's website up right now. Jason happens to be a friend of mine. And let me go ahead and I'll give you that website. It is jpweb.us. Jason I trust with my own stuff. And what's Jason do? Patents, copyrights, trademarks. He does anything associated with an idea. He wants to protect your idea. Sometimes when we get an idea, we want to go out and tell the world. We want to tell the world we're in love. We figured out something wonderful. Reminds me of Willy Wonka. When he got the kids inside the facility, and then he had the spy go around and talk to the kids. It was fictitious if you've seen the movie. But yes, people will steal your ideas. Keep your mouth shut. Get the right person on board for you. And see if anyone out there has it. See if it'll sell. And these attorneys will tell you. You never want to do anything in any area without an attorney. But in this one, especially, you want one. You don't ever want to be that guy that comes on a TV show and says, wow. I remember Robert Kiyosaki telling this story, Rich Dad Poor Dad. He was the first one to market with the Velcro wallet. I had one. I remember when they came out. You could go surfing with them, and they didn't get wet. It was the greatest thing in the world. Well, the problem was he didn't take the time to get a patent on it. What happens? Well, somebody is able to put more money in it, reproduce it faster, cheaper, more efficient, get it out more distribution channels, and they wipe you completely out. That is the saddest story in the world. You don't ever want that to happen. I've got another friend, if you want to look him up, Jim Beach. Jim Beach lives in the Atlanta area, another business coach consultant. He's more on the capital side, but has a syndicated radio show. He talks about this a lot. You want to protect yourself. Why am I talking about it? Because I've heard stories in the last 6 months of people will call me and go, wow, I don't know what happened, man. You told me. I don't like it when people start sentences with you told me, because when they say you told me, what's it mean? They screwed up. They didn't listen. They didn't get the attorney. They didn't do their due diligence. They didn't do what they needed to do on their end to protect their idea and or capitalize on their idea. You don't ever want that to happen. So, job one, your job, your main job is to get an attorney. Okay? Now, if you're a husband and wife team, what are you going to do first? Of course, I got this great idea. Tell your spouse. I hate to say this, but sometimes I've heard of spouses getting signed to confidentiality agreements. If you have to, great. But hopefully, that's an understanding. But tell that person closest to you. And they're going to say yes or no. Yes or no. Great idea. I think we should move with it. We can probably get it funded. No, I'd probably wait on that one. I'd probably redefine that a little. Okay? And then you go to a business consultant, kind of like Jim Beach. You sit down with him. See, that's not my expertise. I'm just talking about it now because I do the behavioral side of business. Sit down with him. Yes or no. Okay? supposing that you've already sat down with your attorney. Now, let me go ahead and give you that website one more time because I trust Jason. jpweb.us. And it's funny because the reason I even came up with this idea was my wife was talking to me the other day, and she was talking about all the horror stories that we've heard and friends that we've had drop the ball and not get things handled the way they were supposed to be legally. And remember, if it's not handled legally, it just doesn't matter, and you're not protected. So she was talking to me about that, and I was like, that might be worth investing some time into. And it's part of, I've got a guest today, Shelly Hunt. Shelly was part of the team at Procter & Gamble that came up with the concept of Huggies. Why is that a big deal? Well, it turned the diaper industry on its ear. It was unbelievable. It was crazy. It was a huge campaign. They got all their ducks in the row and they made sure everything was handled. And now when you say the word Huggies, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Diapers. How many kids are born every single year? Just in the United States, not talking the world. And to come up with something that cool and that special. And now people sit and go, Huggies. They don't say diapers. They say, give me some Huggies. Well, how would you feel if you came up with that idea and you didn't do your due diligence and you didn't get your attorney, you didn't get all your paperwork in, you didn't get everything into the U.S. government office to say, this is my product, this is my concept, this is my trademark, this is my patent, this is everything that I need. You sitting going, wow. Hey man, that could have been my house down in Mexico. I'm sitting by the beach. Instead, I'm still sitting in Detroit and I'm having to drive my own car. What's up with that? I'd like to say I haven't heard those horror stories, but I have, especially in the music business. And it breaks my heart because anything that I do, I make sure I call these guys first. I'm so paranoid now, that's probably the first phone call I make, even before I share it with my wife. It's, how do I make sure that this is handled? Because of my business, look at my business. Coaching, consulting, we do speaking, I make products, I do parenting products, marriage products, single products, I write books on business. Yeah, I'm handled before I go out of the chute. I've got a brand new book coming out soon. What was the first thing we did? We made sure we had our number. We made sure it was registered with the United States government. We did everything you're supposed to do within the publishing business to make sure that concept, my intellectual property, is handled. Now let me tell you this. If you've got your idea and if you're in doubt, okay, you're on the fence going, not really sure, not sure if I should pursue this, still take the time to sit down with an attorney. I'm a big believer in attorneys. Yes, I know they've probably got the #1 worst rating other than salespeople in the car business or vacuum cleaner salespeople. But a good attorney who's worth their weight, it's worth the $250 to $500 an hour for the consulting fee to sit down with them and go through specifics. You don't ever want to be on the other side of woulda, coulda, shoulda, wish I had, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? You don't ever want that V8 moment. You don't ever want that V8 moment. So you want to make sure that your due diligence is done and that your attorney has handled it. Coming up, Shelly Hunt is going to be on the flip side of the break, and I'm going to get your questions. I want to get to the mailbag. I haven't spent enough time on the mailbag lately. Questions at scottferrell.com, 706-889-9700. I'll hit the mailbag and your questions as soon as I get back.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford. 50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours. Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95. And there's several more on the lot just like it. Yes, 50 trucks must go, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings. Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
El Rey and Elijah.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elijah.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Elijah. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Welcome back, show. Thank you so much for being part of my day. I hope your day is going well. Now it's time to get to the mailbag. What's the deal about the mailbag? Well, I take your questions and answer them. This whole show is about problem, answer, problem, answer. So it's my job to take what you ask me and give you an answer for it. Now keep in mind, when I answer these questions, I am not a counselor, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not an attorney, and I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a guy who has multiple certifications in special ed and behavior. And I spent 25 plus years in the arena and doing behavior plans for families and or doing plans for businesses. So I've been at this a while. I write books, I'm a best-selling author, and I've done radio and TV for about 10 years. And I've had a syndicated radio show in addition to this show. So I think I got this down pretty well. All right, but remember, anything I say is an opinion and for funsies. All right, let's get to the first question. It always helps when you're ready to go. I like this one. This is from Taylor. Taylor is from Dalton, Georgia. Never been up the Dalton, Carpet area of the world. Also, if you keep driving, you get to a place called Chattanooga. Beautiful place, great aquarium. All right, Taylor wants to know, how do you know when you found the right one? That's a good question. Get that question a lot. I meet people out a lot of times and I go, I can tell you how you found the wrong one, the right one. Well, for one, let me go over the specifics again. Do you believe in a creator or not? If you believe in a creator, you understand that God has chosen someone to be with you. Okay, and I can't stress this enough. If you believe in a creator, if you don't, now that's a whole different set of circumstances. If you do believe in a creator, you understand that God's got a person for you to meet. The great thing is, if you do this right, you've got a couple people to choose from, but there's always one that's going to fit you the best. Well, let's look at this. Let's go through the criteria. If I were sitting in front of you guys right now, what would I ask you? So Taylor, I'd ask you, what's your purpose, plan, direction? What's hers? Okay? What's yours? Who are you? Why did God make you? What's your job while you're here on earth? Time's limited. How are you taking advantage of it? What's hers? Have you openly talked about her purpose, your purpose? How they're going to mesh? Because remember, God takes two and makes them one. You've heard that. There's a reason. Because now you've got a blended purpose while you're here on earth. What are you going to do with it? Okay? Do you have common interest? I know people like to say opposites attract, opposites fight. I know with my wife, we love the same music, same food, same vacation destinations. She's a sports fanatic. Praise Jesus. I got somebody who likes football as much as I do, and she's learned to like basketball. Do we have common interests? If you've got one set of interests and she's got one set of interests, when are you ever going to be together? It reminds me of the couples that take separate vacations. I thought I was getting married to spend time with my person. I don't understand the separate vacation concept at all. So, purpose, plan, direction, they match. Common interests, they match. Belief system. I can't stress that enough. Living in a house divided means the house is going to stay that way. The fastest way for a house to fall in is if it's divided. Why would you want to take one belief system and another belief system and try to make them mesh? I haven't seen that work successfully. How many couples have I met with? How many friends do I have? I'm in my 50s. I haven't seen it work because you got one parent wanting them to go over here and one parent to go over here, and the kids end up with the belief system of confused. So instead of having a rock solid theological belief of God or whatever it is, they've got a confused situation of, I don't believe anything. And where did I get that? I started interviewing interfaith marriage, people that were married and their kids. And I saw a lot of confusion, a lot of anger, a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of, I don't know who I am, what to believe in, or where I'm going. Also, this time I'm going to say you got to go on some feeling. There's a tingle, there's a feeling, there's a butterfly feeling, there's a feeling there that only the Holy Spirit can give you. That you know, that you know, that you know, that you know, that this is the right one. Is everything going to be perfect? No. Are you going to have arguments? Of course. Good grief. We have arguments on ball teams, businesses, with our family. Why shouldn't we argue with our spouse? It's just the way you solve those. But pre-marriage, do you spend all your time arguing or do you spend all your time being loved? Which one is it? So many couples I'll see out and they're just arguing all the time. They go, oh yeah, we fight all the time. But we're getting married. It'll solve everything. Or once we get married, and even though we argue all the time, the baby will solve everything. What planet are you on? Seriously? Who told you that? Did you see that in some movie? Read it in a novel? No, that's not how this works. You'll know. And if you believe in a creator, you understand your purpose, she understands hers, you'll know. Now the key is, just because you've got the right one, does that mean happy ever after? Does that mean that there won't be any problems? And will that mean that you don't even have to work? No, man. This is just starting. Okay, this is just starting. But it can be the most rewarding, joy-filled journey you'll ever have in your life. The key is, and Taylor, I don't know your background and I don't know what you've seen. I have young people tell me all the time, there's no way to have a happy marriage. And I have to say, that's BS. You've never seen one. And I get on my generation all the time. We're not showing kids how to be successful. I didn't say telling kids, I said showing kids. Our divorce rate is the highest one in history. We've done a lousy job of teaching kids success, work ethic, relationship, love. We haven't taught our kids how to love, how to appreciate. I tell moms and dads, and Taylor, remember this when you have kids. The greatest gift you can give your kids is for the man to love their mother and for the mother to love their father. And I needed to be open. I needed to be seen. I need the kids to understand it, and it needs to touch all five of their senses when you love each other. Now, Taylor, you didn't tell me if this was a blended family or not. Blended family, we add more to, so I'm just going to take this as you think you found the right one and you're going to roll with this. Taylor, I hope this was helpful. If you got any questions for me, it's questions@scottferrell.com. If you have any questions for me specifically to you, it's scottferrell.com or info@scottferrell.com. Taylor, thank you so much for the email. All right, I've got a political question. I'll answer it. I was getting coffee yesterday. I was trying to figure out my own handwriting here. And I had a guy stop me. And he goes, hey, man, can I ask you a question? That's how it always starts. Hey, dude, can I ask you a question? What you want? What's your thoughts on the DNC this week and Bernie Sanders? Do you really want them? And I said, tell you what, I don't have time right now. I got to get my coffee and get back to the studio. I'll answer it on the air. So here's my answer on the air. Politics is politics. Normally, not always, people have a price. Now, I put on Facebook what his price was. Apparently it was a plane and some other stuff. It's amazing how we'll trade our ideals for a price. But did we really have any ideals to begin with? If you easily trade what you believe for the pot of silver or the bag of silver or the 30 pieces of silver, did you really have any ideals at all? As I watched the DNC this week, I get to see how corrupt American politics are on both sides. It's disheartening. I can say this. If you're an American citizen, not a Democrat or Republican, but an American citizen, what happened at the DNC this week should frighten you. Because if that election's fixed, and that was, Bernie Sanders got hoodooed. There's no other way around it. Now we've seen the emails. That should frighten you as an American citizen. Because if they did it to Bernie, who's next? You. Don't ever think that they're going to isolate that to their own party and the corruption in their own party. Oh no, it's going to spread over to you. National voter fix. Okay, the allegations have been out there since time began. This is not the most corrupt machine I've ever seen. Read books back in the early 1900s if you want to see corruption. Well, all the way through. Now we have a way to see the corruption. Now we have a 24-hour news cycle to see it. And it is troubling that the mainstream media and the DNC work together, for one, to take Bernie out, but to take the American people out of the equation. It angers me, and I'm not even a Democrat, that people in the Democratic Party did not get their vote heard. Okay, I'm big on voter rights. Okay, for whoever you vote for, I'm big that you got your voice, and I'm big on you got the vote. It disheartens me. I don't think I would dislike Bernie as a human. If I sat down and had a cup of coffee with him, I'd probably be cool with that. Now, I think every single thing he stands for politically is crazy because he's basically a socialist communist. Okay, we've seen around the world that doesn't work. But just from a pure, if you voted for Bernie, your vote should count. That angers me. And if I was a Bernie Sanders supporter, I would never vote for Hillary. Now, I'm not, but it does anger me that if it happened to Bernie, it can happen to the rest of society. And we really need to take a long, hard look at our election process in this country. Because if the fix is in on one side, the fix can be in on the other side. Thanks for that question, dude at coffee shop. I apologize, I didn't even ask your name. I was in such a hurry. If you have a question for me, it's questions@scottferrell.com. Or you can send me a text, 706-889-9700. I'm going to go to the mailbag one more time during the sequence. And then at the top of the hour, Shelly Hunt's going to be in to talk about what it means to get your brand on and how to get out to the world. I'll be right back.
The 50-50 sale is back at Shattenkirk Ford. 50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours. Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95. And there's several more on the lot just like it. Yes, 50 trucks must go. And not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings. Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Shattenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at ShattenkirkFordJasper.com.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
El Rey and Elijah.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elijah.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Welcome back to Scott Ferrell Show. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me, getting back to the mailbag and your questions. Keep in mind, I'd be glad to answer one of your questions on the air. Just one rule. Make sure that that question addresses more than one person. If it's a personal need, just go to my website, scottferrell.com, or info@scottferrell.com. You got a question for me, 706-889-9700, or send us an email, questions@scottferrell.com. I was flipping through Facebook a second ago. Yeah, I flipped through it too because I gotta pick up questions. I gotta see what's going on, and this has got nothing to do with the mailbag, but it is something that's disturbing to me. I don't know where you are on the abortion mix. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about politics here, but it is a fact-checked article about Ruth Bader Ginsburg and the fact that she believes that abortion is a way to get rid of undesirables in society. Okay, lots of books out there that we read in high school and college connected to that. I think it's sad that someone would be that stupid to say that in public. Okay, you're on the Supreme Court. Have enough sense to keep your mouth shut. But if you really feel that way, what's frightening is you're on the Supreme Court. I don't see that as a way just to get rid of undesirables. I don't see kids as undesirables. I see what we make them into. I don't see a child who's born perfectly by God into the world, who is programmed to be an undesirable. Kids don't arrive here ready to destroy the world. We adults, we parents do a great job of teaching them that. But if they arrive on the scene, they're ready to go as people and they're ready to be successful. So for that blatant of a statement to actually address your hatred for what you perceive is an undesirable, is inexcusable from one of the highest office in the land. Remember something. When in doubt, and you're going to say something extremely stupid that you can't take back, keep your mouth shut. Keep your fingers closed. Don't get this out and put it all over social media like she did. Just be quiet. If you're stupid and you're silent, nobody can know. But if you're stupid and you vocalize it to the world, cat's out of the bag. Just keep that in mind. That's one of the more despicable things I've heard, especially disappointing from someone from her office. Enough said about that. Let me get back to the mailbag. All righty. Boy, I got a good one here. Allison from Dawsonville, Georgia. I don't like my daughter's new boyfriend. What do I do? Well, you didn't give me an age, so I'm going to take this as being over 18. What can you do? If someone chooses to date someone, why did they choose to date them? My in-laws don't like me. Look at me. I don't look like my wife. I'm a really nice guy. I'm ordained. I'm an upstanding citizen. Okay, sometimes the book and the cover don't always match. What's inside the book doesn't match the cover. And the fact that I'm probably a different cover for most. She didn't specifically say, I'm going to take this as what most parents tell me. It's not the looks. It's how he acts. We as parents have a job. When our children are in our home, we have to teach them what they deserve from the world. The world's never going to raise your self-esteem. The world's only going to be your enemy. What people think about you is none of your business. You don't ever want to take someone's opinion of you and put it between your ears. So as a parent, we have to teach our children that they have to build their own self-esteem through self-discipline. They have to be competent as people. We have to model those competencies through us by building our kids up, not artificially, but when they do something good, let them know. When they do something bad, discipline that part of that, but make sure it's fair. But let our kids know that you're loved, God loves you, created for with a purpose, plan, direction. God's got something special for you. Hold them to a criteria of expectations. But let them know that if God created you, you're special, and you deserve to be treated in the following ways. And if someone's not going to display those behaviors to you, move on down the road. A low self-esteem combined with a bad person spells a bad outcome. See it all the time. Where's our teenage pregnancy in the black community right now? Over 70%. White community, over 55%. Latin community, over 60%. People don't just go out and have children because they have a high self-esteem, they understand who they are, and they understand their purpose, plan, direction. They go out and have children out of wedlock at those rates because they don't have a concept of who they are, why God created them, and what they're going to do the rest of their lives. And now we've created this really vicious circle of really bad outcomes within all three of those areas. So I say, you don't like your daughter's boyfriend. Why? I'll take it it's because of his behavior. We raise our kids, if we raise our kids, to understand who they are and what they deserve, and only limit it to that. If you don't treat me the way I deserve to be treated, we're done. Because I love myself too much to be treated that way by you. If we can get that across to our kids, we don't have to sit down and go, I don't really like my daughter's boyfriend, other than the dude's got too long a hair and he wears earrings that are weird. Or he's got too many tats. All right, now we're talking about physical. I've never looked at it that way. I didn't really care what you look like physically if you took care of my child, if you loved my child, if my child loved you, if you guys were a mix, if I understood that God had picked you for my child. Who cares? I've dated every single race. I've dated everything size. We went over why men like bigger women. I didn't care. I took you for face value, who you were. Who you were trumped anything else. And normally I happened to marry a white girl. That was not the script. I didn't care. I wanted to marry the person that God had chosen for me that I could love. Same thing here. So Mom, if this is something to do with your daughter, and it's because he's cruel to her, that's the deficiency on your part as a parent of not teaching her, because she's going to role model whatever she saw from you. Moms understand this and dads too. If you allow a boyfriend or a husband or a wife to mistreat you, what do you think your kids are going to do? Kids only see what we do. Kids will mirror the behaviors that they see us display. So if they're raised in an environment of abuse, if they are raised in an environment of screaming, hollering, no love, all they see is anger, what do you think they're going to mirror when they get out of there? Even though we leave those environments. I say we because I was in that environment also. We leave those environments saying, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I'm definitely not going to do that, I'm not going to be my parents. But then the programming kicks in. A computer can say all day, I'm not going to run this program. I'm not going to run this program. I refuse to run this program. But it's the only program that's been programmed into their hard drive. What are they going to run? That program. We can say all day that we don't want to run a certain program as people. But if that's what's been programmed into us throughout our lives as a child, we're going to run that program till we install a new program. We will run a script that somebody has written for us. Chances are it's our parents. So, Allison, take heart. It can change. Let me get to one more question. Lacey from Roswell, Georgia. She wants to know, she's acknowledged that I write books, and she wants to know how to get published. Heck, you can go online right now and publish your own book. I've got a feeling, though, she's asking about how to get a publisher. Make sure your material is protected. So you can actually look this up on Google or whatever engine you want to use to look up how to protect your intellectual property as far as writing. And I'm not an attorney, so I don't give out legal advice. Jason Webb can, the gentleman I mentioned earlier. Just make sure, before you get to that publisher, let a couple friends breeze through this. Here's why. Is the book any good? Would anybody read it? I always ask people, and they seem to get insulted, would anybody read this? And people say, I got a story to tell. That's great. Would anybody read your story? Because if they wouldn't read your story, don't finish. There's a lot of hoops to jump through before you get to that publisher. So make sure it's of interest. If it is of interest, stay with it. My friend Shelley Pickens, she gave me her manuscript years ago. Now she's on book 3, trying to get this made into a movie. And the books are fabulous. They sell. They're flying off the shelves. And when I read it, I was like, wow, this is something powerful. Once you get past that powerful hoop, you can send me an email, questions@scotferrell.com, and I can recommend some publishers. I don't like to do them in this forum because my friends don't want me giving out their information because they are publishers, and my own publisher, I have not cleared with him to go ahead and acknowledge that he exists. So send me your info, Lacey, and then we'll make sure you get connected with a publisher. The major publishing houses now, tougher to get into. People are self-publishing. The publishing industry is kind of like the radio business, TV business, music business. It has changed drastically in the last few years. And it's a whole different animal now. But Lacey, thank you so much for asking. I've got a new book coming out soon. It's great because once you get in, and once you get that first publishing book, and I got my first bestseller 9 or 10 years ago. It's a great feeling. So Lacey, stay with it. Don't forget Shelly Hunt's coming up. She is the CEO of Success is by Design, and she's also the CEO and founder of Women of Global Change. If you've ever wondered how to brand something and make sure it gets to the marketplace the right way, on time, the way people need to see it, Shelly is the one to see. Also, if you've been looking for a project somewhere in the world to help women of Global Change is where she's going to take you. Again, Shelly Hunt's going to be my guest coming up. You don't want to miss this. You have a question for me and Shelly, 706-889-9700. I'm Scott Ferrell, and I'll be right back.
The 50-50 sale is back at Shattenkirk Ford. 50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours. Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95. And there's several more on the lot just like it. Yes, 50 trucks must go, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings. Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Shattenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at ShattenkirkFordJasper.com.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
El Rey and Ella J.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ella J.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Welcome back, Scott Ferrell Show. Thank you so much for being here with me. So excited I got to interview Shelly Hunt. If you got any questions for Shelly, successisbydesign.com or head on by Global Change, womenofglobalchange.com. I got to go next year. This year, it's funny. All my friends are sending me photos and putting them on Facebook. Wish you were here. We're having a great time. You ever had friends go on a vacation and you said, nah, I can't do it. I'm too busy. I got too much to do here. And then they start sending you photos. And you're like, did I make the right decision? Man, it looks like they're having a lot of fun. And I look back at the Women of Global Change trip, and it looked like a lot of fun. And guys, talk to me here. You get to go be on a ship with women, all women. All right, these ladies love men. It is called Women of Global Change because Shelly wanted to get women involved. But she loves men. They love to have men come. It's very rewarding to be able to go out in the community, and when I say community of the world, and go out and do some cool projects. Even better, when you get back to the ship, it's business time. I've got a business, you've got a business, they've got a business. Doesn't matter where we're headquartered in the world. The key is it's collaboration, not competition. How can we, as a collective group, help each other? You've got your business in Taiwan. You've got your business in Toronto. I've got mine based in the United States. What do you do? How can I help? What do you do? How can I help? How can we get our Rolodexes out? How can we get our marketing material out? Who can I tell about you to help your idea get across the world? It's one of the coolest things in the world. Shelly and I both are members of something called CEO Space International. The whole idea is cooperation, not competition. If we're just constantly competing with each other, we're just beating each other down. How is it we can collaborate together, take all our talents, and sit down? It's like a mastermind group, just like Napoleon Hill was a big fan, Think and Grow Rich. And how can we make things better? How can I expand your idea? How can you help me expand mine? My new book coming out, It's Not Them, It's You, been rated very highly by Forbes. Shelly is the one who sat me down and said, you're going to write that book. So she's like my sister. So we sat down and I got it written. I'm very thankful that I had somebody go, you're going to do this. And I actually listened. It's a book about the behavior of business. I don't do fundraising. That's not my deal. I do environment and behavior. And if it's in those walls, if it's within the four walls or part of every relationship, that's mean client to business or business to fulfillment or business to business. That's where I take over because I do relationships. Every single thing you do in a business is a relationship. And people have to understand that. I know I'm supposed to do in the mailbag here, but I wanted to discuss this because Shelly activated that in my head of so many times. We don't understand what a business is. Yes, it's an idea, it's a concept. But until you take that idea and that concept and you can relate it and communicate it to the world on what you do, you're not going to get very far and you're not going to make a lot of sales. And the key is to stay in business. You got to make a profit. That's nice to hear politicians say, oh, no. If you're not making a profit, why stay in business? But you've got to be able to convey that message to the world or to your buying audience. And no, not everybody is your audience. I talk to people too, and I'll say, who's your target market? Everybody. And then I'll say, no, they're not. Here's why I'll say this. And I'll say, how old are you? 30. All right. What's your specific dating pool? Who do you like to date? Well, I like girls that are 5'10" with dark hair. Okay. So if a girl that's 4'11" with blonde hair comes up, would you date her? Well, no. I just told you, 5'10", dark hair. All right, so everybody's not your target market. When I relate it back to dating, and I relate it back to that type of relationship, people get it. I'm like, business is so different. You're still dating. When you're dating a customer, they're deciding if they want to go out with you again or not. And they may buy one of your services, but they'll start out on the small end. They want to be able to trust you. And if they can trust you, they're going to step over. It's just like when I go tire shopping. I'll go around to 4 or 5 tire dealers, and I've been with the one I've been with now for 15 years. And once I find you and I can trust you and you can do the right work and you understand that we're still dating and you got to be nice to me, I'm going to stick around. Once you convey that to someone who's got a business idea like Shelly was saying, then they understand that we've got to take this business concept and relate it to the world. But I've got to do it in as few words as possible and as effectively as possible, as quick as possible. We live in a microwave society. People want their information dispensed to them in a matter of seconds. What one of my internet friends told me, you got 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds to capture someone's attention before they've gone on. Knowing that, you have to understand that since not everybody's your target market. Look at my show. My target market for what I do is 25 to 60, male and female, primarily female. Why? Well, a lot of times men won't admit we have problems, women do. I talk about love, I talk about relationships, I talk about how to solve problems. And it's funny because on the personal side, it's more female. On the business side, it's more male. Because I go in, I'm no nonsense. I'm going to sit down and go, what are the following problems? Because I always remind people, you called me, I didn't call you. And I go in with, it's not them, it's you. I always start at the top. If you don't have a thick skin, sometimes you can't handle me as far as a business consultant. I'm completely opposite with families because family's all about the emotion. And normally by the time I get to you, all hell's broken loose. You've lost everything. You feel distraught. You don't know what to do with your child. You don't know what to do about your spouse. And I come in and coach what to do. In a business situation, normally it's how do we fix this? Again, I'm in the business of helping people solve problems. If you don't have a problem, normally you don't need me. If you do have a problem, I'm there. Last time I looked, most people have problems. But I'm always going to start at the top. Same thing with parenting. I see CEOs and parents on the same plane. Parenting, everything that you do, every decision you make, every financial, every spiritual, every emotional, every physical decision you make trickles down to the company, your kids, your family, your mom, dad. Over here, CEO, every decision you make, same categories, trickles down to the company. How is it that most people don't understand that? Because I see people blaming their kids and I see people blaming their employees. An employee didn't hire his or herself. They didn't just walk on a job one day and go, hey, I'm working here now, man. Give me an apron, give me a vest, give me a shirt, whatever it is. No, they had to go through the hiring process. They had to meet with management. They had to go through HR. They've had to go through reviews. They've met the regional vice president. They've met the important people. And if the CEO happened to be in, they've met him also, or her. So I still blame you. I was talking yesterday about one certain restaurant chain that can't seem to keep the paper towel holder on the wall. That's maddening to me because that's a detail. And that detail means somebody didn't wash their hands. And that detail meant that I'm going to get food poisoning from the kitchen if someone doesn't wash their hands. See, those are details. So if we don't hit the details, and if the small things don't matter, the big things can't. And one of the things that Shelly and I both talk about is, in that relationship, and then taking that business idea and conveying it to the world. People want to know, what's in it for me and why should I? How's this going to change my life? How's this going to improve my life? And how's this going to solve my problem? You got to be able to answer those questions as fast as you can, as quickly as you can, as plainly as you can. Same thing on a date. You sit down at dinner. You're talking to the girl or the guy. A lot of times we know inside of a few seconds if this is going to work. We get the vibe. It's no different in business. People get that vibe. I still think business, yes, we have Skype, yes, we have the phone, yes, we have all these means of communication, but there's still nothing that beats face-to-face. Once you get in someone's space and you feel their vibration and you feel their air, or their whatever you want to call it, you understand them. It's that simple. I remember Shelly and I were talking one night, and I'd gone to a show here with Queensryche, and one of my favorite bands of all time, and Shelly's good friends with those guys. And the Sarzo brothers, very cool. If you ever get a chance to go see them, go see them. Talented musicians. And Jeff Tate, one of my favorite singers of all time. And the biggest conversation of the whole night was not about the band. It was the fact that I wasn't in a band. Because they think, hey, Scott, what band you in? I'm not, guys. I really am. I do TV and radio. I talk on the radio all day. And they're like, no, really, man, you can tell us. And I'm like, I'm not in a band, man. I was on the stage. I wanted to be on Broadway. I've got this booming baritone voice. A lot of rock bands don't like that. I can't see me being very popular if I tried to go front Aerosmith. But that was the funniest part of the conversation, and the fact that it was so cool. And I knew if they were friends of Shelly's, they would be cool. Here's the thing. If you've got a business idea and you want to get it to the world, you had better know your branding. You better know who you are. You better know how to get it out there. And make sure you hire the professionals to do the job right the first time. There's nothing more expensive than having to redo your brand. I know. Shelly's one of my closest friends. She's also been the person who's helped me with my branding. So I speak confidently about her and the whole circle of friends that we have. Success is by Design is her website. ScotFerrell.com is mine. We do stuff together. We got a big project coming up. We just haven't filmed it yet. So stay tuned. When I get back, I promise I'm going to go to the mailbag, get your questions. Questions at ScotFerrell.com or 706-889-9700. I'll be right back.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford. 50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours. Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95. And there's several more on the lot just like it. Yes, 50 trucks must go, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings. Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
El Rey and Ella J.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Elegy.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Welcome back to Scott Ferrell Show. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you're just tuning in, I'm Scott Ferrell, your host. What do? I'm a coach and consultant in the behavior realm. I handle family and business. What we're doing now is something called the mailbag. The mailbag is an opportunity for you, the listener, to be able to send a question to me, and we talk about it right on the air. There's one rule that I have for this. Make sure any question you send me can benefit more than one person. If it does, I'll be more than happy to answer it right here on the air. How do you get in touch with me? Questions at scottferrell.com. Let me spell that. It's SCOTFERRELL.com. If you have a question that's just for me, you just want to talk to me, you got to talk to me. That's great. Info at scottferrell.com, or just go by scottferrell.com. My guest today was Shelly Hunt. If you get an opportunity, go by her website. successisbydesign.com and womenofglobalchange.com. Yes, men are invited to that party also. All right, I got a text in a second ago in conjunction with what Shelly and I were talking about. How do you start a business? Idea. So many people get caught up in what their talent is. And here's what I mean. Business versus sole proprietor or self-employed. A lot of times, you're great at what you do, but you feel like, and this is where a lot of guys get hung up, if I don't do it, it ain't gonna get done right, okay? That is true. You're probably the best at what you do on this, but how can anybody else do it right if you don't teach them? We try to teach people. If your business can't run itself for 6 months without you being there, you're still not doing it right. Now, if you don't want to grow past you and a couple employees, that's cool. It's whatever your comfort zone is. But the question was, how do I get that business going? I ask people, it's just like a relationship. What's the end in mind? You've gone out with this girl, you've gone out with this guy, And we've gone past the niceties, and we've gotten past the first 3 months of the relationship. What's the future outcome? What do you want the outcome to be? Same thing in business. What is the outcome that is desired? What do you want? You've got this really cool skill. Let's say it's plumbing, because we all need plumbers, and man, it seems like we always need them at the same time. And when we need them, because there's a problem. So I'm a plumber. I start my business. It's just me, and I get a couple of helpers. That's cool if you never want to grow past that. But the question was, how do I get a business? Okay. Well, what's your area? What do you service? Let's say we're in the Atlanta area. All right, so you're going to service. It's tough to service all of Atlanta. Sometimes people go, oh, it's just Atlanta. Dude, have you ever been here? We got north of 7.5 million people. It has taken me 5 hours to go from one side of Atlanta to the other during traffic. That's not a lie. And that ain't no different than being in LA either. Or trying to get around Washington, D.C. So when you say Atlanta, you're saying, all right, what are my specified counties? What are my 3 counties that I'm gonna cover? Okay? When I start getting busier, what am I gonna do? What's my brand? What do I look like? What's my logo? Who am I? What are we wearing? What's our service motto? What's our mission? What's our vision? Who do we want to be? It's so much more than, hey, you need a problem fixed and I'll come fix it. Okay, because if you want to be a company, if you want to be a business, you got to know where you're starting and where your brand. And Shelley's so right. Before you start, who are you? What do you look like? What's your brand? Look at Kiss. Again, Kiss is one of my favorite bands, so you're going to hear me talk about Kiss and Stryper. The Yellow and Black Attack. Okay, that's what Stryper's known, Yellow and Black Attack. Kiss. You cannot look at Kiss and go, never seen these guys before. They're one of the most successful rock bands in history. Even though they weren't the best musicians, they were the best showmen. Kiss, to this day, is still one of the best shows I've ever seen. I've been in the Kiss Army since 1974, to tell you how long that's been. But I've always been a fan, and I was a fan of the show, of the brand, of the people. And Shelley works with Gene on a regular basis and says he's a phenomenal businessman, and I believe that. And say what you will over the last 40-some-odd years about him. They're still an icon. They still rock. They still tour. They still put on one of the best shows I've ever seen. They understood that what they were going to take this business to market, that they had better have the end in mind. And if you're going to take that business to market, they also understood their audience. Who was their audience? Rock fans, specifically who? Because you start the Kiss Army. All right, I've been in the Kiss Army now 42 years. I've been in the Kiss Army. It just blows my mind that they've had me as a fan, a loyal fan that buys everything for 42 years. So when Gene and Paul and Peter and Ace sat down and they said, where do we want this brand and where do we want this business and where we want this entity to end up? Gene's philosophy was forever. But how do we make a brand? 42 years is a long time. It goes back to the question I had yesterday. Do I like Coke or Pepsi? Yeah, I like them both. They've been around forever. And to me, they both represent fun times with my family. Okay, I'm sounding kind of like a commercial for them. But look at Kiss, look at your company. If you've got that plumbing company, if you're a plumbing contractor, what's the outcome? What's going to be your service area? Who's your clientele? Who are you going to market to? You can't market to everybody at all times at all people. Who is it? Look at Kiss. Kiss was marketing to us. And when I say us kids, I was 1974. I was getting ready to be 10, 10 to 35. And right then, rock and roll was still young, so to speak. And that brand, and for what they did and the show they put on, was really young. If you weren't a Zeppelin fan, Sabbath fan, you probably wouldn't have got a Kiss. But we were. And David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust. We understood that we were going to be part of a wave, of something spectacular. And then we wanted this wave, we wanted to ride it as long as we could. And I've ridden it now 42 years. Am I going to keep riding it? Yeah. Do I still want to go see the shows? Yeah, because they still provide a great product. All right, let's look at your plumbing company. How long do you want it? Do you want it to just be you and 2 people? Do you want to pass it to your kids? If you don't have kids, do you want to sell it? What's the outcome? Where do you want it to be? Do you want to be all over Atlanta and then maybe take Atlanta, Greenville, Spartanburg, Chattanooga, going down to Orlando, probably Birmingham? All right, we got the Southeast United States there. Or do you want to be national, every major city? Want to be global? Pick your countries. A lot of people go to Europe, Asia, India. I've got friends that travel to all. Where do you want to be? And this is one of the things I have to go in and do with CEOs, and so does Shelley. We have to sit down and go, where are you? What do you want? It's like Kindergarten Cop. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger when he walks into the classroom. Who's your daddy and what does he do? Because he's trying to find the son of a guy who's trying to come there and kill them or kidnap them. Who's your daddy? What does he do? And I have to sit down with business owners and goes, who are you? Who's your company and what do you do? And you do this, but do your potential clients know this? It's like in school. Remember when we would always do the three-way, and that's what I mean by the three-way. You tell a friend that you like this girl. And a lot of times she would send him over to see if she liked you. It saves you the humiliation of you going directly to her and going, I really like you. And she going right in your face. I'd never date you, you bum. So what you do is you send a messenger over and, hey, you got any interest here? And if she says no, there's no egg on your face. And then when she goes, did you send him over there? You deny, and act like you've never met the guy, even though he's your best friend and everybody sees you at school every day. That's how that works. Now, you don't want to do that with your clients. You want your clients to know exactly who you are. But you have to know who you are first. And I meet with a lot of people that don't know who they are. And they've done well, but did they really want to transfer it to a business? Well, now we could probably call a business anytime. Okay, let's say you got over 10 employees. Okay, you're hopping. If you got over 10 employees, you got some responsibilities. You got a pretty nice payroll there, and you got to have the business to come in and do it. But let me ask you, if you've got those 10 employees, do you have a second in command who can run the ship while you're not there? Are you still running the ship with the mentality that if I don't do it, nobody can do it. If I don't do it, it ain't going to get done. If I don't do it, it ain't going to get done right. Okay, time out. That's where we got to sit down and talk again. Empower the people in your corporation to make decisions. Teach them as much as you possibly can and hire people that are smarter than you. Okay, what will we do in dating again? Well, if I like this girl over here, and I'm not just going to send anybody to talk to her, because my heart's been pounding for her for months now, but I'm too scared to go talk to her. So I'm going to send the coolest friend I've got, who I can trust with all my secrets, who won't ask her out himself, but he'll go over and transfer how great of a message I am, how cool I am, and why she needs to date me. And then he's going to tell her that, and she's going to say yes, and he's going to come back to me. Okay? We should have left that a long time ago, like junior high, but a lot of us haven't. And we've got to make sure that each one of our representatives is ready for the job at hand. And understand that if you've got those 10 employees should be a billboard for your company. They should know who you are, what you think, what you feel, what you do for the community, that you're the best, you solve people's problems, and you're irreplaceable. They should be able to repeat that verbatim. Again, I'm a big fan of Chick-fil-A. Why? Repetition. Every single Chick-fil-A I enter, I get the same outcome. And I expect that I've got pretty high expectations of the outcome. But I know that I'm going to get that specified outcome that I expect every single time, regardless of size of restaurant or how many employees I've got. Same thing's got to be said of you. If you want a business, understand your brand, understand who you are, understand what your mission is. Make sure your employees can repeat that back to you verbatim. Understand that your employees can transfer that message out to the community. Keep in mind, if you got 10 employees, each one of those employees is worth 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people. And then you have to assess the lifetime value of those people. So if you got a plumbing contracting company, you got to do it better, do it on time, do it within a reasonable price. I didn't say cheap price, I said reasonable. I never go with the cheapest person. The cheapest person's not going to do the biggest quality. I normally get the highest quality guy. I get the highest quality I can for the probably medium price. So I never go for the cheapest, and a lot of times I don't go for the most expensive. Sometimes they're overinflated. But I feel like I've gotten treated fairly. You've communicated your brand, and my need has been handled. I'm all in. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about taking your sole proprietor and taking it to a business. All right, thank you so much for being with me today. If you have any questions for me, questions at scottferrell.com. I didn't mean to take the whole mailbag time for that, but I wanted to make sure I got it answered. You can always text our show, 706-889-9700. If you need me, go by scottferrell.com or info@scottferrell.com. Keep in mind, time doesn't wait on you. We don't have an infinite amount of time. We got to get this and get going now. Why am I saying that? Because it's time to go home sometime today and tell the people in your home and all of your friends and the people that you love how much you love and appreciate them. Until next time, I'm Scott Ferrell. I'll talk to you later.